What's up everyone, George Leeman here with MuscleMasochist.com. Wanted to give a shout out today to all my teenagers, man, all my young guys trying to get bigger and stronger. As some of you may not know, I'm 23 years old. I've been working out since my 14th birthday, right on the day. Had to be 14 to work out at the YMCA, but that's besides the point. Basically, you could say the majority of my time spent training was spin training as a teenager, training as a young man, you know, 14 to 19 to 20 kind of thing. And so you could say I have a good bit of advice for teenagers. And a lot of my training methods are meant for people who are healthy, who can make natural progress and stuff like that. So when I give you guys this advice, I wanna let you know I'm giving it to you from the perspective of someone who did not take drugs as a teenager and did make a lot of gains as a teenager. I got this advice from someone I have a lot of respect for. I used to go on a forum, I used to go on T-Nation, and this guy was a poster there, and everyone else listened to him, so I figured I should listen to him because he was a big guy. His name was Professor X, and he was about a long-term bulking plan. A long-term putting on muscle, day in, day out, week in, week out. You don't cut and bulk all the time. You bulk, and then cut. That's what I did, and I'm telling you guys right now, that's what you should be doing. That doesn't mean get obese. That doesn't mean pack on as much weight as you possibly can, as fast as you can. What that means is you should be spending the most productive years of your life in terms of natural growth hormone levels, natural testosterone levels. I mean, shit, you guys, we were growing whether we worked out or not. We were growing. We were putting on weight. We were getting taller. We were putting on muscle. We were getting bigger and stronger whether we did shit or not. So you should be taking advantage of these years and putting on as much size and strength as you absolutely can within your own limitations in terms of how much you can eat, how much you can train, what exercises you can do, what body fat percent you're comfortable with having and stuff like that. But what you really need to be doing is looking at this from a long-term perspective. These are the years where you can make your best natural progress. These are the years where you should be taking advantage of that natural progress. These are not the years that you should be using drugs and trying to make as fast as gains as possible. And I'll tell you why, because I'm giving advice to teenagers here. And it's a little bit different than for, you know, adults, like fully grown, fully developed males and stuff. But this does apply to everyone anyways. The bigger and stronger you can get naturally, the bigger and stronger you can get when you take shit. If you can bench 400 pounds on your natural testosterone levels, what could you do on a shitload of tren and fucking test and anadrol and all that other bullshit? What could you do with all the other things at high doses, very high doses? Probably ridiculous stuff. And that's what a lot of kids fuck up. They want to get on drugs immediately because the big guys are on drugs. What they don't realize is it limits you. It limits the amount of gains you can make. It limits your potential to a ridiculous degree. You do not want to be the kind of person that needs to take a gram of test to see results. You want to be able to see results on your natural testosterone levels, and then when you take a gram of test, you want to be a fucking freak. That's what you want. Taking drugs when you're this age is a terrible idea. Trying to stay ripped all the time when you're a teenager, I mean, maybe that's your goal, and if it's your goal, by all means. But if your goal is to gain a lot of strength and size, being ripped all the time is not the answer. What you want to be is in a calorie surplus all the time. You want to be carrying a little bit of extra body fat all the time. Because what that's doing is, that's taking advantage of your growth hormone levels. That's taking advantage of your insulin response. That's taking advantage of the fact that you're already in the position to be growing. So give your body what it needs to grow, give it the stimulus it needs to grow, and spend your teenage years growing. And by the time you're 20 and you're already way bigger and stronger than everyone else, then if you did want to take drugs, if you did want to do that kind of stuff, you're already way in front of everyone else. You're already ready to take it to the extreme, the next level, the place that other people don't even recognize. They'll start talking about genetics and shit. They'll start talking about, oh, like you've been lying, you've been using shit for years, because they're using fucking a shitload of gear to not be able to lift what you can lift naturally. Because you took advantage of what you already had naturally. You took advantage of the fact that you were already growing, that you were already going to get bigger and stronger, that your growth hormone levels are already sky high, you know what I mean? So this is the absolute best advice for teenagers. Spend your teenage years growing. Spend them growing naturally. Spend them getting stronger naturally. Because if you don't, you limit your potential drastically. If you need a shitload of drugs to bench 300 pounds, how are you going to do 400? How are you going to do 500? Do you even want to take the amount of drugs that it would take to do 400 if you need a lot to bench 300? I wouldn't. I wouldn't at all. And this is advice I've been given by the strongest people in the world. The strongest people in the world got really fucking strong naturally first. Maybe not all of them, because I don't know all of them, but I know some of them. And they say the same shit. You don't just start doing drugs. You don't just waste your time. You spend your time growing as a teenager. If you look at the strongest young men, they were fucking strong before they took shit. They got strong before they took drugs and shit. They used their time as teenagers to improve before they took another step. And that's what everyone should be doing if your goal is extreme size and strength. You should be slowly growing, week in, week out, not cutting and bulking, cutting and bulking, cutting and bulking. Grow for years. Get bigger and stronger for years. I went from 200 pounds at 15 to 385 at 19. By the time I was 20, I was like, I don't know, 250 or something. I had abs and shit. I didn't take anything illegal to do it. Nothing illegal to do it. And as soon as illegal things did come into play, all of a sudden people started telling me that, like, I have the world's most ridiculous genetics and, like, all that kind of shit. And, like, I'm not saying they're bad, but, like, how do you know what your genetics are until you go from 200 pounds to 385 while strength training as a teenager for many years? For 5+ years. You can't know what your genetics are until then. That's the best thing about teenagers. You guys don't know what your genetics are until you put in the time and effort and work. So don't waste your potential. Spend your natural years as a teenager getting big and fucking strong. So when you're an adult and you're fully developed and you're already a fucking animal, you can become more of an animal. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out my website, musclemasochist.com, and subscribe for more videos. And if you guys have any requests for videos, leave them in the comments section. Are you depressed? It's depressed pup. The most depressed pup. Zoom in. You annoyed? You seem annoyed. Enjoy your TV. That's not how you play video games. You're doing it all wrong.